Welcome to episode 1 of Silverpine Reviews. Today we'll be talking about the Coastal Off-Road bumper. Since this is the first episode, let's go over format real quick. On Instagram with the same handle, pnw.silverpine, there will be a short video showing would I recommend the product, why, and what I would do differently if I were to completely rebuild a base GX470. Here on the longer form videos, I will talk more about what experiences I've put the product through, creating a pros and cons list of that, and what I actually plan to do with each product. The reason we're starting with the Coastal Off-Road bumper as a first review, because it's one of the products I can genuinely say I would fully recommend. And let's get into the experiences of why I can say that. This bad boy was welded by an amateur welder. My friend put it all together. He's never welded this much before in his life, and yet it still survived to all the tests that we put it through. On the surface level, you can see installed a full 12K winch in there. It has pod lights in there, and just the regular brush guard up front. Getting a little more advanced, I've used this to pull trees out of trails. I've used the 12K winch to pull myself out, mostly ditches and high centering. And then we've used these D-shackles here to pull other vehicles out. Even more advanced, I've absolutely used just the full end of this to clear brush, trees and stuff out in the backcountry. And then this actually has been in a 25 mile per hour accident, hit another vehicle, and yet still looks like this. Pretty much just needs a paint job. Alright, let's talk about some pros and cons. Pros number 1, this is a full replacement bumper. A lot of bumpers for the GX470s make you trim that part off and then just replace there. Now, this is a full replacement, so if you have any paint damage or anything on your old bumper, this will replace it all. Alright, pro number 2 is the design of it. It is designed to fit 35 by 12.5 at full tuck even before I had a lift. And I actually experienced this. Before I got the lifts in there, I had this bumper installed they were used, but 35s, and they never rubbed there. The second part of it is the high clearance. You very rarely will actually hit this bumper on obstacles because it's bound to hit something underneath first. Pro number 3 is durability. What you're looking at is a vehicle that has been in an accident with this bumper, with this paint job, and still looks not half bad. The winch survived, the lights survived, all of my internals survived. This bumper is an absolute champ. Alright, the final pro I'm going to bring up is cost. While if you have a GX470, you know all front bumpers are very expensive. This kit starts well under half of what the other ones start, and you just have to then find a welder or figure that out yourself, which brings us to our cons. Con number 1, it is a DIY kit. So either you need to be able to weld and risk missing, like we did here. This gap is not supposed to be here. This was just a amateur welder slash fabricator, and we just missed a little bit. Or you need to pay a welder, which here in Washington State costs more than the kit it does itself. It's still cheaper than having a fully ready to fit bumper installed to you, but it is still not cheap by any means. The second con I have here is the space. This is a Smittybilt X2O full 12K winch here, and as you can see, it will not latch with the winch head unit there, so I had to actually relocate it back there. While this does also come with a pro, it makes a nice, very thin profile. It makes working in there quite hard, and I actually need to grind a little bit right there to be able to engage and disengage this easier. While those are some annoying cons, in my mind, the pros absolutely outweigh the cons here, and I love this bumper. What I'll be doing in the future here is stripping all of this old spray-on bed liner that I put on it. I'll probably be grinding off some of these exterior welds, just cleaning them up a little bit better, trimming that up there, and then throwing a new coat of paint on it and calling it good. If I were to do this again, I genuinely think I would just buy this exact same bumper again and maybe have a professional welder instead of trying to do it with a friend. And of course, just another reminder that none of this is sponsored. This is just my experiences and my personal thoughts on it. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comments or just message me on Instagram and I'll do a full write-up report on them and post it in the comments. Because again, that's all this really is for information sharing about everyone that has these rigs or these products. Well, I got my brew, you got your review. Until next time.